Imagine walking through the dusty streets of Babylon one morning. Merchants carrying sacks full of gold, bankers arguing heatedly, and a young man quietly observing from the sidelines. In his eyes, there's not just the pursuit of money, but also the search for wisdom. Maybe that young man is you. This video isn't just about making money, it's about managing it wisely. Most of us see financial freedom as a goal: earn more, spend more. But Stoic philosophers said something thousands of years ago that still rings true. Wealth is the scarcity of needs. Sounds backwards, right? Earning more while desiring less. When you combine Arkad's teachings with the mental discipline of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, you realize that's exactly the point. In today's world, with credit cards, constant consumer bombardment, and promises of easy money, ancient lessons are still golden. The advice of Babylon's richest man holds up as solid financial principles even now. And the Stoic approach turns these principles into a foundation, not just for money, but for a calmer, more resilient life. Picture Marcus Aurelius jotting notes in his tent on the battlefield, learning to manage his own desires. Or Epictetus moving from slavery to freedom, teaching that character and discipline matter far more than wealth. And Arkad handing out the secrets of gold to young people, but teaching above all patience, discipline, and investing in yourself. Throughout this video, we'll talk about how to manage not just money, but also your mind and habits. We'll walk step by step across this bridge from the dusty pages of history to today. And our first stop, the principle of pay yourself first. If you're ready, let's take the first step into this ancient wisdom together. As the Babylonian morning sun rose over golden domes, Arkad stepped into the marketplace. Years ago, he'd walked these same streets with not a single coin in his pocket. Now, people gathered around him, eager for his advice. A young merchant asked timidly, "Sir, how did you become so wealthy?" Arkad smiled, pulling a gold coin from his bag. "It all started with this," he said. "But that's not the real secret. The secret is that I set aside one out of every 10 coins I earned for myself first." The young crowd exchanged astonished looks. Back then, most people spent everything as soon as it came into their hands. Arkad's story was a lesson. Discipline is the foundation of wealth. This scene reminds us of Marcus Aurelius' brief yet profound note. First, govern yourself. Stoics believed you can't control the external world, but you can control your choices and habits. Money falls into that category. Arkad's principle of pay yourself first echoes Marcus's teaching. Allocate your earnings to yourself, your future, and your inner freedom. Money is a tool. How you use it reflects your character and discipline. Even today, this ancient lesson applies. With credit cards, automatic payments, and endless promotions tempting us to spend, setting aside your own share is getting harder. But the key is to reverse the system. When your paycheck arrives, first put your portion into savings or an investment account, then plan your life with the rest. That 10% isn't just savings, it's an investment in yourself. Learning new skills, improving your health, or investing in personal development books or courses. When you do this, like Arkad, you'll see your coins multiply over time. But more importantly, your sense of security grows. As Marcus Aurelius said, govern yourself first. Financial freedom starts with inner discipline. If you want to be the master of your money, not its servant, the first step is simple. Pay yourself 1 unit for every 10 you earn before spending. This isn't just saving, It's a Stoic life principle. Now, just as Arkad built his gold, we've laid the first brick in constructing our future. Next, we'll talk about protecting that wealth and managing our desires. As the Babylonian sun scorched the marketplace at midday, Arkad carefully handed out sacks of gold to the young merchants. The young ones rushed to spend, chasing new clothes and luxuries. Arkad stopped them. Money should be your tool, not your master. If you don't control your spending habits, no matter how much you earn, it will never be enough. This echoes Stoic philosopher Epictetus. It is not your needs, but your desires that enslave you. He taught that unhappiness comes not from external objects, but from chains of our own wants. Arkad's example in the marketplace illustrated this perfectly. The gold in their hands didn't satisfy the young merchants. They became slaves to desire. The more they earned, the more their sense of lack grew. Today is no different. Ads, social media, and endless calls to consume constantly stimulate our desires. Notifications, buy now messages, credit card limits, all feed our wants. True wealth starts not with earning, but with controlling spending and managing desires. This is where the Stoic perspective kicks in. We can't control the outside world, but we can control our minds and choices. In practice, this means discipline. Track all your spending, which expenses are unnecessary, which habits only give temporary satisfaction. Like Arkad, categorize spending, prioritize needs first, wants second. Avoid fleeting luxuries and impulses. This lays the foundation for financial freedom. Modern strategies include minimalism and planned budgeting. Set a monthly limit, restrict unnecessary purchases, and focus only on value-adding expenses. Even small savings like skipping a daily coffee can grow into substantial investments over a year. This mirrors Arkad's slow accumulation of gold. Stoics saw discipline not just as a mental virtue, but critical in all areas of life, especially money. Managing desires, protecting income, and growing savings are essential. Just like Arkad taught, wealth comes not only from gold, but from controlling desire. With this mindset, managing your money reduces stress and increases freedom. Inner discipline brings external prosperity. Next, we'll explore how to put your money to work, smart investments and long-term plans to grow your financial power. As the Babylonian evening sun painted the stone streets gold, Arkad gathered the young merchants around him. Counting his sacks of gold, his eyes reflected years of experience. "Gold isn't meant to sit idle," he said. "Lazy gold doesn't make you rich. Working gold does. If you want your money to grow, put it to work." The young merchants asked, "But sir, how does gold work?" Arkad smiled. "First, you need patience and knowledge." Seneca's words come to mind. The greatest wealth is using time wisely. Understanding money means not just saving, but using it wisely at the right time. Arkad's principles matched Stoic wisdom. Be patient, measure risks, don't rush. Both money and life lose value when managed hastily. Today, keeping money idle in a bank account is like letting gold sit in a sack. It loses opportunities over time. But smart investments make money grow. Stocks, real estate, savings accounts, or small businesses all can increase wealth with a patient and informed approach. The key is to act carefully without rash or uncontrolled risks. Arkad explained, "Think of each coin as a worker. Send it to the right place and it multiplies. Leave it idle and it only preserves itself, losing value over time." Stoic discipline in modern finance. Patient, conscious investing grows both wealth and mental discipline. Education is the first step. Learn financial literacy, investment tools, risks, and start small. Set long-term goals, make analytical decisions. These mirror Arkad's principles. Invest small amounts each month, and over years you can build considerable wealth. Diversification matters too. Focusing on a single investment is risky. Spread your investments for safety and growth. Stoic philosophy teaches focusing on what we can control: knowledge, patience, discipline, and accepting what we cannot: market fluctuations. When you learn to put your savings to work rather than just storing them, you take a big step toward financial freedom. Next, we'll discuss wise advisors, how mentors help protect and grow your wealth. On a quiet Babylonian evening, Arkad gathered the young merchants outside his home. The gold sacks had become a symbol, but his teachings went far beyond gold. Accumulating wealth is easy, he said. Protecting and growing it takes wisdom. Earning alone isn't enough. You need the right guides. The young merchants asked, "Sir, how do we find the right guides?" Arkad pulled out an old scroll pointing to notes. Finding wise mentors early in life is like an apprenticeship. They protect you from mistakes and show the right path. My wealth grew not just from accumulating gold, but from learning from the right people. Stoic philosophers shared this approach. Seneca emphasized wisdom as the foundation of a virtuous life, highlighting the importance of mentors. A good teacher teaches you to govern yourself in the world. Epictetus often spoke about wise mentors shaping his decisions and character as he moved from slavery to freedom. Today, it's the same. Financial literacy, learning from experienced professionals, and working with trusted advisors build your wealth on solid ground. Mentors and educational resources reduce mistakes and broaden your vision. Like Arkad, managing wealth wisely is as important as accumulating it. Start by clarifying your goals. How much do you save? Where do you invest? What are your long-term achievements? Then seek experts to guide you: financial advisors, mentors, books, or courses. Knowledge must be applied actively, not just passively absorbed. Arkad continued, "Gold alone isn't valuable. Invest in wisdom and your money works for you while minimizing mistakes. Walking with the right guides doesn't just grow wealth, it strengthens your mind and spirit." This combines Stoic philosophy with Arkad's core teaching. Wealth isn't measured by coins alone, but also by the wisdom, guidance, and mentorship behind it. Next, we'll explore protecting and managing your wealth ethically. As Babylon's night fell and long shadows stretched across the stone streets, Arkad stood once more among the young merchants. The gold sacks had multiplied, and everyone in the marketplace was talking about his teachings. But Arkad knew wealth wasn't just earning and saving. "Young men," he said, "protecting wealth is just as important as earning it. And the true value of wealth is measured by how you use it." Marcus Aurelius often said from his throne, "Do what is right without thinking of the outcome." In finance, this applies too. Protecting wealth means making ethical, conscious decisions and avoiding get-rich-quick schemes. Rash or unethical investments might pay off short-term but harm both wealth and character in the long run. Even today, scams and speculative ventures constantly test disciplined investors. Stoic wisdom teaches focusing on what we can control: knowledge, patience, ethics, and disciplined action. External risks must be accepted. Arkad's gold was protected this way. Wisdom, patience, and ethical conduct ensure security. In practice, protecting wealth means financial security plans, diversified investments, and avoiding hasty decisions. Simply saving isn't enough. You need a disciplined system. Following ethical principles protects not just wealth but personal reputation. Arkad taught, every coin you earn grows or diminishes with your character. He added to a young merchant, use money wisely but never sell your character. Lasting wealth comes from right and moral choices. True richness isn't measured by gold alone, it's measured by wisdom and virtue. With this mindset, learning to protect your earnings, savings, and investments brings you closer to financial and mental freedom. Savings grow not just with numbers, but with discipline, virtue, and wisdom. As Babylon's nightlights illuminated the streets, Arkad addressed the young merchants one last time. The gold sacks were no longer just objects. They symbolized discipline, the pursuit of wisdom, and patience. Wealth isn't measured by what you earn alone, he said. Accumulating, working, managing with wisdom, and protecting it ethically, that's the true foundation of richness. Stoic teachings link this ancient wisdom to today. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca taught focusing on what we can control and managing desires. Arkad's experience in Babylon teaches the same. Financial freedom starts not with gold, but with discipline of the mind. In modern life, these principles still apply. Set aside money for yourself first. Control spending, invest consciously, and seek guidance from the right advisors. All of this grows both wealth and character. Impulsive and unethical choices might seem attractive short-term, but discipline and wisdom form the safest foundation for freedom. Every step we take today, like Arkad accumulating gold, shapes our future. Earning, saving, investing, and protecting wealth creates not just material, but mental and spiritual power. When we master money instead of being its slave, we experience true freedom. By applying these lessons, we gain not just financial but inner richness. If this video inspired you, subscribe to the Stoic Perspective channel and continue the journey of wisdom with us. Remember, wealth begins not in your pocket but in your mind. Thank you for watching.